Hello and thanks for joining us on NTA Nationwide, reaching you this Thursday from Abuja, the nation's capital territory. We're sorry to cut in the live program to bring you our bulletin. You're welcome. My name is Oge Chipol. Now, the Senate has resolved to call on government to set up an interagency committee of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigerian Immigration Service, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and other relevant agencies to immediately work out a strategy to stem the tide of illegal migration to Europe. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports that this came in the wake of the murder of 26 young Nigerian girls in the Mediterranean Sea en route Italy.
The Senate is alarmed that most of these young persons undergo several hazards, ranging from the searing heat and biting cold of the Sahara Desert, the marauding Tuareg bandits, assault, abuse and rape, and the dangerous sea waves.
It is unfortunate that year in, year out, thousands of Africans, including Nigerians, perish on their way to Europe in what they call search for greener pastures.
If it means taxing the rich more in order to provide for the poor, and that's what is happening in most of the countries of the world. We must ensure that every Nigerian will have opportunity of having some food on the table every day and be able to go to school, be able to afford treatment when he's ill. So these are basic things I'm sure that the government owes to the people, and we must be able to ensure that this gets across to everybody. And when this happens, I believe that it will reduce the number of people who are desperate to leave this country.
Lawmakers also passed for third reading the report of the Committee on FCT on the 2017 Appropriation Bill. The Nigerian Army, in the past and present, has shown great expertise in civil engineering technology in Nigeria with highly disciplined workforce. To fully utilize the expertise of the Army Corps engineers, the House of Representatives has implored the federal government to fully engage the armed forces in civil construction in the country, especially in the northeast. This followed a motion by Representative Sani Zoro and 3 other members.
Services of the Nigerian Army in nationwide provision of infrastructure, particularly in the physical reconstruction and provision of security in the northeast region.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, we all know, some of us that are about 50 years by age, we knew when the militaries were building bridges.
Issue that we didn't address as to the capacity of the Army Corps of Engineers. Because does it really exist? Is it what we used to know? So that we don't direct agencies to go and patronize a non-existent agency or agency that doesn't have capacity.
And I rise wholeheartedly to support this motion. Mr. Speaker, you know very well that military is a very disciplined organization and they follow instruction. So when we are talking about the issue of engineering, we are talking of people who can diligently follow instruction based on specification.
Abdullahi Kalambaina of APC, representing Kware Wamako Federal Constituency of Sokoto State, was sworn in. He replaces Mohamed Wamako, who died July this year. Now, the attention of the Military of Defense has been drawn to an online social media report alleging fraud in the award of an execution of a contract. A statement signed by Public Relations Officer to the Ministry of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, indicates that the contract in question involves relocation and refurbishment of Nigerian Army Level 2 Military Hospital under the United Nations Multi-Dimensional Integrated Stabilization in Mali. The statement added that the contract passed through the relevant procurement process and no one is being prosecuted as alleged in the misleading report. Still staying with the security, Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has appeared before the Senate Ad Hoc Committee investigating allegations leveled against the police, Inspector General of Police, and the Police Service Commission to clear himself of allegation against him by Senator Isai Mesau. National Assembly correspondent Ifanye Zumba has that report.
The counsel to the Inspector General of Police, Alex Izion-San, who was with the Inspector General, drew the attention of the lawmakers to examine the standing rule, which directs that any matter before a competent court of jurisdiction should be sub judice.
Paragraph 1A of the standing order of this House says that the Senate committee and all of that committee shall be bound. The use of shall there is to command a kind of command that, look, let us be guided by our own rule. When you have judicial remedies present and these matters are in court, any reference to it might prejudice it.
Senator Alemi Hena said the ad hoc committee was already constituted before the Inspector General of Police went to court.
The Senate is not out to witch hunt anybody, and the truth must be told. And besides the papers we have seen, good, part of this thing that went to court is noted, but the violence of 2016 appropriation did not go to court. So if we are going to go to court and that is the prerogative for the parliament, it's not the court to decide the parliament.
The hearing was adjourned to a later date that will be communicated to the parties involved. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
Well, it's now time to join Lagos to bring you reports and intelligence sharing between Nigeria and Somalia. Jennifer is standing by to bring us details of this and more. Hello, Jennifer. It's over to you.
Welcome to Lagos. The impressive performance of the Nigerian police officers, especially during peacekeeping operations outside the country, has influenced Somalia to understudy with a view to reorganizing its police operations. Deputy Inspector General of Police in Somalia, Brigadier General Bashir Mohammed, stated this after paying a courtesy visit on the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2 at the command headquarters in Lagos. Musa Toliat completes the report.
Inspector General of Police, Brigadier General Bashir Mohammed, the team came to the Police Zone 2 Command Headquarters with a mission to learn the rudiments of effective policing techniques and crime-fighting methods of the Nigerian police. He said adopting Nigeria's policing strategy would go a long way to help Somalia get a firm grip of security situation after experiencing 26 years of civil war.
It's quite very impressive. 378,000 police force, and that's what we are trying to learn, how the states and the capital interact, how the HQ and the different sectors interact with each other under one command. The same discipline, the same know-how, and the same tasks.
Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2 Command Headquarters, Adamu Ibrahim, told the Somalia delegation that effective policing in Nigeria stems from the creation of zonal commands which evaluate activities of the state police commands and provide interventions when necessary.
When we study the crime trend too, if we see there's any need for us to come in and advise the command or to directly intervene, we do so. So our work generally is more or less coordination, assessing and evaluating what is going on, then liaising with the commands and the Inspector General of Police so that the work can be moving smoothly.
Intelligence gathering on insurgency and proactive measures to check emerging security challenges in developing countries were also discussed. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
The Lagos State Teachers' Annual Biometric Verification Exercise for pensioners has commenced with a charge for all pensioners to come en masse for the exercise. The Permanent Secretary of the Teachers' Establishment and Pension Office, Sewanu Ayodele Amosu, gave the charge during the verification in Lagos. Rotimi Oluwagbemi compiled the report.
Confirmation of pensioners' exercise, according to Mrs. Sewanu Amosu, is to ensure that legitimate pensioners who are still living get their retirement benefits. She says the introduction of online verification system by Lagos State government will enable Lagos pensioners living outside the country to carry out their verification without stress.
This exercise is important. Number one, it helps us to have the data of people that are being paid. And then two, it also helps to block leakages. The good thing about the new one is that they help you to plan and plan well.
Some of the pensioners comment.
The pensioners are very, very happy now, unlike in the past, where people will come, every day you come, nothing, but today, immediately after your retirement, you start receiving your estate that is done set by set.
Especially those who cannot even come, they can do it online. This is ICT time. This is in line with what is going on in the world. We thank God for the governor, for everything he has put in place to make life easy for everybody, both pensioner, both regular worker and everything. We are really very grateful. It's a very good exercise.
The exercise, according to the organizer, is ongoing in 6 education districts of Lagos State. It is expected to end on Thursday, 16th of this month.
On transportation, the Lagos State government has commenced channelization of 4 commercial ferry routes out of the 30 already identified as part of activities to scale up water transportation. Nosa Osula has the details.
Extensive interagency inspection tour of ongoing projects in and around the state's inland waterways, Commissioner for Waterfront Infrastructure Development, Engineer Adebowale Akinsanya, said the 4 routes currently being channelized would be followed with another 2, while work on the remaining 24 would be implemented in phases within the next 4 years.
What we are doing today is channelization, creating road on water. Where we are right now is about 0.6 to 0.7 meters deep. And the intent of the channelization is to make it minimum of 4 to 7 meters deep. So any boat or ferry can sail freely.
On illegal dredging and other unwholesome practices, the commissioner said the state government had already intensified enforcement of relevant laws, assuring that no stone would be left unturned in securing the waterways and also ensuring safety of lives and property.
So we've had the opportunity now with the court ruling that Lagos State can control its inland waterway. So we've taken that initiative going around the state. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, some of the people doing these activities were arrested and being prosecuted right now.
The routes are Ebute Ojo to Marina, Bayeku to Aja, Ijede to Marina, and Ijede to Baduri. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
Now those are the stories at this hour from Lagos. Back to Ogechi in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. Moving on now, the President, Muhammadu Buhari, has formally inaugurated the Armed Forces Council in line with the provisions of the Armed Forces Act and laws of the Federation. The President also presided over the first meeting of the Council as its chairman, where matters of great concern to the Armed Forces of Nigeria were considered. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Established by Cap 820 Laws of the Federation and Section 4 of the Armed Forces Act, the Armed Forces Council, under the authority of the President as Commander-in-Chief, is responsible for command, discipline, administration, and all other matters relating to the armed forces. Shortly after its inauguration, President Muhammadu Buhari presided over the first meeting of the Council, comprising the Minister of Defense, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Service Chiefs, amongst others, as members. The meeting, which lasted over 2 hours behind closed doors, considered several critical issues aimed at enhancing the welfare, discipline, and operational capacity of the armed forces.
It reviewed terms and conditions of service for officers and soldiers, reviewed some of the retirement benefit for officers and soldiers, including defense policy, which has been obsolete since 2006. We reviewed it and discuss and reach a final conclusion on them.
Although the minister did not give further details on some of the decisions taken at the meeting, NTA News, however, learned that critical documents were ratified to enable the armed forces cope with the ever-changing contemporary challenges of security. The last time the Armed Forces Council met was in July 2014. Meanwhile, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State was in the State House to finalize arrangement for the planned visit to Abakaliki by President Muhammadu Buhari next week.
We have quite a lot for Mr. President to commission. We're building a tunnel that dovetails into a flyover that is parallel to the existing flyover at that particular junction that is called Akano Ibiam Junction. And we want Mr. President to lay the foundation stone And that flyover bridge will be named after Mr. President. And we are sure to finish that project in the next 12 months. So Mr. President will also come back. I'm sure he will be commissioning it when he comes back for during his campaign. Since Mr. President is doing his first term, and I'm doing my first term, it's my wish to recontest. So I will as well wish Mr. President the same to recontest.
More than 10 projects are lined up for inauguration by President Muhammadu Buhari during his visit to Ebonyi State. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Now, statistics indicate that within the last 5 years, Nigeria lost property worth 6 trillion naira to fire. This is in addition to medical, psychological, and social costs. The devastating effect of fire necessitated a conference on fire and safety organized by the Joint Committee of the National Assembly on Interior. Rabi Musa has the report.
What is the cause of fire in Nigeria's commercial centers? A critical question that brought together all the concerned parties to provide solution and reduce devastation arising from fire to the barest minimum. The statistics on the losses arising from fire were staggering.
It's very important that the society knows the damage that fire that's been causing in the country. The amount of money, like in Lagos, they said about 54 billion just for 3 years. We are working to see what laws we can make.
Just the last fire incident in Kano alone, I mean, there was a loss of 3.3 trillion naira. We are going to collect whatever suggestions from private sectors, from states and individuals, NGOs, and compile it at the compendium.
The Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, in a message, commended the National Assembly for the initiative in appropriating adequate resources for firefighting.
This conference is also set not only to achieve what we set as our objectives, but also is in support of what we're doing.
Participants raised issues bordering the necessary infrastructure and avoidance of indiscriminate bush burning and other unwholesome practices, especially as the dry season sets in.
Details of fire cause and estimated property loss are over 30 years ago amounts to over trillions.
Steep penalties through the laws of the National Assembly needs to be enacted.
Testing, commissioning, training. Stakeholders are enjoined to take initiatives.
As we speak, most of the states are really not up to date in terms of fire.
Awareness needs to be created from early days.
Participants also emphasize the need for increased awareness on fire safety. Rabi Musa, NTA News.
The federal government says it's committed towards addressing the health needs and other welfare challenges of prison inmates in the country. Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Bello Dambazao stated this at the presentation of drugs to the 36 State Prisons Command and the FCT. Mujanadu Adam Saeed has the report.
African Regional Health Report says the health of prison inmates in Nigeria and many nations is a disturbing trend. But many governments in Africa deny the fact that the health of convicts is an issue.
This has not happened for a very, very, very long time. And I know it because I've gone around quite a number of prisons and I saw the conditions of the clinics, their drugstores, and so on and so forth.
The distribution is on the basis of the number of prisoners on each formation. So we want to seize this opportunity, Honorable Minister, sir, to please convey our appreciation to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this singular gesture.
This intervention by the Buhari administration is to ensure an appropriate health template for proper prison administration that will meet global best practices. With the symbolic presentation of these drugs to 7 states out of the 36 states of the Federation on behalf of the federal government, it is an indication that the health needs and welfare of all prisoners in the country will be improved. In Abuja, Murjana 2, Adam Said, NTA News.
A public presentation of the 2016 Strategic Conflict Assessment and the National Action Plan has been presented for public consumption. Omenka Manachuku reports that the document proffers solutions to conflicts in Nigeria.
2000, the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution had periodically undertaken strategic conflict assessment in Nigeria for the purpose of providing the government and other stakeholders with informed and unbiased analysis of conflicts and their implication on peace and security of the country. The 2016 Strategic Conflict Assessment and National Action Plan was conceived to develop an overview of conflict context and trends of violence in specific and generic terms.
This public presentation therefore presents another opportunity for stakeholders and policymakers to gain a better understanding of the various issues relating to conflicts, peace building, and conflict resolution.
The Institute is globally well known for its conduct of Nigeria's first strategic conflict assessment, shows new and significant trends in the mutation of conflict dynamics, requiring early action in order to preempt and peacefully deal with the potentials for conflict disorders in our country.
In order to mitigate some of the problems of the conflict, the armed forces has not only been on the field in operations, but has gone out of its way to do extra work through civil-military relations to see how we can get to the root causes of some of the conflicts and be able to tackle them appropriately.
Speakers at the public presentation called for proper implementation of the Strategic Conflict Assessment Plan. The publication covers reports from 2013 to 2016. In Abuja, Omenka Manachuku, NTA News.
Nigeria's domestic needs underpin her foreign policy direction, bearing in mind national interest. And to achieve this, diplomatic correspondents and reporters must ensure a balanced, accurate and objective reportage at all times. Minister of Foreign Affairs said this at the one-day seminar for foreign desk correspondents in Abuja. Gabriel Odu reports.
Nigeria's foreign policy in a changing world, what role for the Nigerian media, the ICT revolution and its impact on the conduct of diplomacy and diplomatic reporting are some of the issues on the table.
A moment to reflect on the role of a journalist in society today, and most importantly, the responsibility of a journalist, the absolute importance of getting things right, and of really looking and asking yourself, what's my role, what's my objective, what do I want to achieve?
Other issues put forward include understanding diplomatic terms, protocol, procedures, privileges, and immunities.
When you have this idea, when you know the names, it will really help you when you are reporting, and so your report will be then very, very accurate. So we consider you as a very important stakeholder, and that's why we have organized this. Therefore, it is meant to equip and remind you of the foreign policy direction of governments, the intricacies of diplomacy, and on the language of diplomacy for an incisive and effective reporting and coverage of the activities of our ministry.
Both the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and foreign desk correspondents resolved to partner for national interest. In Abuja, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
And to Mines and Development now, as non-payment of royalties, corruption, lack of information, and the absence of geospatial database for mineral resources will no longer be in existence with the launching of an integrated automation portal by the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development. Mayor Gidi brings us that report.
We would have wished that we had the kind of funds that will get us the kind of bankable data that big mining companies need in order to come to our country.
That wish of the Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development has finally been addressed as the minesandsteel.gov.ng portal finally secures a space in the internet community. Beyond making life easy for those in the mining industry, this portal builds investors' confidence as expected by the federal government on the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Content management, marketplace, application for mining titles, administration models, geographic information system mapping, payment of royalties, database for all mining sites and interministerial connectivity are some of the key drivables embedded in the portal.
And fees that are collected in cash hitherto will no longer be collected in cash. It's also going to aid the work we're doing in recovering back royalties and taxes. So all in all, leakages would be significantly reduced.
Beyond the euphoria that comes with such initiatives with clear-cut benefits lies the central issue of non-use of such platforms by the targeted audience.
We will mobilize our members to fall in love with it so that they can get the benefit of it.
The platform will be independently managed by a body outside the conventional civil service. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
We're joining Benin now where Ogachukwu and I is standing by. Hello, Ogachukwu. Welcome.
84 returnees from Libya have been received by Governor Godwin Obaseki with a promise to place them on stipends for 3 months while they undergo various vocational trainings. Kulokenaini reports.
The governor, who described their current situation as a passing phase in the journey of life, said his administration will ensure that they are placed on a monthly stipend for 3 months while they undergo various vocational training. Those interested in pursuing higher education will be given the opportunity.
In life, we all make mistakes. We all get deceived. That is what has happened. But we as a state and as a government, we want to put an end to it.
We appreciate you. We appreciate your coming. We also want to say we love you for accepting us back in our country.
The Attorney General of the state and Chairman Task Force on Anti-Human Trafficking, Professor Yinka Morogbe, told the returnees that her team was willing to receive all Edo indigenes back home because they are precious to the states. In Benin, I am Kutlock Enaini, NTA News.
In the meantime, on the 12th of this month, the Obaseki-led administration will clock 1 year in office. To mark the anniversary, the state government is organizing a 3-day investment summit, christened Alaudao, meaning progress. Again, Goodluck Enaini takes a look at the proposed summit and its relevance to the state.
In the last couple of months, the people of Edo State have no doubt experienced governance different from the way they used to. This is because of the pace-setting, uncommon approach to service delivery adopted by the Governor Obaseki-led administration. In his inaugural speech on November 12 last year, Governor Obaseki promised to carve a new path for development which will culminate to providing the socio-economic well-being of the people while building on the programs of his predecessor. Ordinarily, recording such achievements in 1 year calls for celebration and fanfare, but the state government says it is going to use the period to discuss the future of Edo via an investment summit, christened Alaudao, meaning progress.
People wanting to come to Edo State, they see a new Edo State, one that is focused on accountability, transparency, and fiscal responsibility.
For the ordinary man on the streets, putting in place such a summit is not a bad idea, provided it will leapfrog the states into the desired economic future.
There's no point celebrating when you've not got to where you should be.
The idea of bringing people to discuss the progress of the state is a welcome development.
Observers want the state government to work with the outcome of the Alaudao Investment Summit to build a more prosperous Edo State. In Benin, I am Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
The government and people of Ondo State have expressed satisfaction on the inclusion of bitumen exploration in the 2018 appropriation bill presented to the National Assembly by President Muhammadu Buhari. They are commending the federal government for matching words with action and optimistic that this will transform the economy of the state. Olubukola Aduo has details.
Ondo State has the second largest deposit of bitumen in the world after Canada, but exploration of the mineral resource has not been realizable as successive governments, both at the state and federal levels, made frantic efforts to commence exploration but met brick walls. However, the coast is now clear as President Muhammadu Buhari, while presenting the 2018 appropriation bill, announced that work is ongoing to fully exploit the bitumen resources to meet the 600,000 MTS of asphalt imported per annum for roads and other construction projects. This, according to respondents, is a path in the right direction.
For the people of Ondo State, this has once again confirmed that this administration works is stocks.
State government can actually drive massive IGR from that because people who work here are going to be paying their pay as you earn. They're going to be paying their taxes.
Ondo State stands to benefit with it if they are timely release of the budget and implementation.
They expressed optimism that if fully implemented, the 2018 appropriation bill may become Nigeria's way to success. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
Ogechi is back to you for the rest of the news. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Ogochukwu. As we move on now, Cement Company of Northern Nigeria PLC, also known as Sokoto Cement, continues to grow in status with an 8% increase in turnover in 2016. This is just one of the many positives revealed at the annual general meeting for 2016 financial year. Victor brings us that report.
It is a gathering of like minds, predominantly shareholders of the Cement Company of Northern Nigeria PLC. As they settled down to business of the company's 30th annual general meeting, the chairman's printed statement was adopted as read, a demonstration of the enthusiasm of shareholders. Their morale is further boosted as the financial statement distributed reveals a profit after tax of about 1.3 billion naira, a 4% increase from the preceding year 2015, when it posted about 1.2 billion naira profit. The company also recorded a 23% increase in cement production in 2016 when compared with the output for 2015. Despite these strides in the year under review, the board of directors led by Abdul Samad Rabiu is not relenting in its expansion efforts.
I think we should, more than anything, try as much as possible to say that we'll commission our our second line, which is going to be done early next quarter. So I'm really pleased and very excited that this is completed. As you know, we have spent over $350 million in setting up this plant within, the last 3 years.
He also highlights the company's targets in the days ahead, and shareholders are relishing the prospect.
Sokoto Cement has always been, having a lot of issues simply because of the energy. Thank God, today we have a solution to that issue. And going forward with the new line, I think Sokoto Cement is going to be quite in a very, very good place within the next few months.
Look at the total assets of the company. It grew also almost 14%. And if you look at the turnover also, it grew by about 8%. I think these are very, very good indices by all parameters.
They remain appreciative of the growth of the company in a particularly difficult year for the country. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide. Let's now pause for some messages to return shortly. Stay with us.
Speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Be there at the biggest music concert in Africa, 2017 Afrima Music Village. An evening of non-stop live performances from 40 of the biggest and brightest African superstars. Featuring Blueface, Diamond Platinum, Zuma, VIP, Harry Song, Neil Oliver, Adekunle Go, Shay Shay, Daphne, Foz, Shatta Wale, Critical, Olamide, Huntress, Husseini, Polly Ipupa, Vanessa, MD, E. Grant, Stanley Ina, Dead, J Force 3, Chief No Beat, Becca, and Sophie Dog, Young Paris, Eddie Kenzo, Shine, Salif Keita, and other African superstars. Friday, November 10th, 2017 at the Waterfront, Bar Beach, Victoria Island on Lagos, Nigeria from 6 p.m. till dawn. Entry fee is Afrima t-shirt, 3,000 Naira or 10,000 Naira for the VIP shirts. Get your Afrima t-shirt at irabot.com, areatickets.com, or afrima.org. Afrima Music Village, freedom, fun, and friendship. You don't want to miss that. In association with African Union and the Lagos State Government. Africa is coming. Brace for history.
Easy steps on how to enter the Be Inspired Meetings draws. Step 1. Download FGNI app from Apple Store or Google Play Store. Step 2. Go to the Be Inspired section and scroll down. Step 3. Click on one of the following options. A. Accept terms and enter draw NGN card if you want to pay with a Nigerian bank card. Complete all relevant sections. Click on Pay, select Pay with Card, enter your card details and complete the payment process. Or select Pay with Bank, select your bank and complete the payment process. B. Accept terms and enter draw NGN Bank. If you have paid over the counter at any UBA branch and you have a UBA bank deposit slip, complete the relevant sections, including bank deposit slip number. Click Submit to complete the payment process. Or C. Accept terms and enter draw. PayPal. Log into your PayPal account and complete the payment process.
Honey, let's just pay now. The kids are bored. I am too.
We're traveling next week. We can't just waste money like that and subscribe for a month when we won't be around to use it.
Worried about wasted subscription? Then make a smart choice by paying for when you want with our groundbreaking new StarTimes Pay Per Day package. You can now pay for exactly how long you want. A day, 2 days, a week? The choice is yours. Never worry about wasted subscription again. Just enjoy all your favorite channels and much more. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, the Made in Nigeria campaign. In the midst of unprecedented multiple challenges, our great country Nigeria, as Africa's largest economy, is surely marching on to a new era of all-round prosperity, especially through re-engineered and diversified economy, powerfully driven by the change agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR.
We will patronize local entrepreneurs. We will promote the manufacturing powerhouses. Our objective is to make Nigeria a new manufacturing hub.
It is not time to complain. It is time to join the campaign. It is time for economic recovery, growth and diversification of our economy by Made in Nigeria.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped, we are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime. We bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism, and other criminal activities. Be productive. Be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
You're still watching NTA Nationwide. Welcome back. People of Kebbi State receive free health care services. And for details of this and more, let's now join Asma'u in our Sokoto Network Center. Hello, Asma'u.
Hello, Ogechi. Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. Hundreds of less privileged people have received free treatment for various illnesses during the ongoing free medical outreach sponsored by Kebbi State government. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the free medical outreach is being conducted in conjunction with an American-based humanitarian organization, Moses Lake, and Nigerian organizations.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, who described the partnership as a success, said there is the need for such partnership to be sustained for the benefit of the people in the state. The governor, who reaffirmed government determination to improve healthcare system and ease the services to the populace, said the state government will continue to support any patient that has been referred to bigger hospitals. Governor Bagudu, however, acknowledged the contribution of all stakeholders for the success recorded.
Lucky we are as a state to have a combined team of dedicated professionals from across Nigeria, including our own health professionals who have been here selflessly providing service to a multitude.
The leader of the free medical outreach, Dr. Latif, commended Governor Bagudu's effort to provide free medical services to the less privileged, adding that they were successfully treating patients with the support from the governor. The Commissioner of Health, Alhaji Umar Usman Kambaza, lauded Governor Bagudu's foresight for the exercise. He said the objective of the free medical mission is to support the less privileged who cannot afford treatment. The partnership between the state government, Moses Lake of America, Pro Health, and the University Teaching Hospitals of Port Harcourt, Ibadan, and Usman Danfodio Sokoto is expected to last for 3 weeks. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, has called for the introduction of diploma and degree programs on recitation and memorization of the Holy Quran by the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. He made the call when he received the Nigerian contingent to this year's World Quranic Recitation Competition held in Saudi Arabia. Sheikh Muhammad Dati completes the report.
The Sultan says Sokoto Caliphate was founded on knowledge and learning by its founders, who have done everything within their power to promote learning and education. He expressed delight with the performance of the Nigeria's contingents at the global event, saying Nigerians are indeed proud of them. The monarch pledged his continuous assistance to the development of education, especially as it relates Islamic knowledge. Vice Chancellor Usman Danfodio University Sokoto, Professor Abdullahi Abdul Zuru, said they are in company with members of the Quran recitation competition to present the two Hafiz al-Quran who had won the second position at the global event of Quran recitation competition held in Mecca. Hafiz Faisal Muhammad Lawal from Shinkapi won the world's second position on whole Quran and Tafsir, while Al-Bashir Goni from Mashmari in Tere local government area of Borno State won the second position in the whole Quran recitation without Tafsir. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
And that's our package from Sokoto. Is back to Agechi in Abuja for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too. It's exactly 1 month to the People's Democratic Party National Convention, and the race is getting interesting with 8 aspirants seeking to become national chairman of the party. The issue has resulted in alleged division between some members of the party's Board of Trustees, especially in the southwestern part of the country. This necessitated a reaction from the overall leadership of the Board of Trustees, distancing itself from favoritism to any aspirant. Political correspondent Abdullahi Gababurunukutu reports.
As at the last count, there are 6 aspirants from the southwest and 2 from the south-south as hopefuls for the chairman of the PDP. Although consultations are ongoing to ensure smooth ride, the room for consensus is not in sight for now. As this is going on, some aspirants accuse members of the Board of Trustees in the southwest for alleged favoritism to some of the contenders. The party's chairman, Board of Trustees, Senator Walid Jibril, was however quick to react to this.
How could you only come and you have put 2 of them, or the BOT members, to allow them to contest? People will accuse you to say you are selfish because you are already standing for the BOT members who are concerned. Give an opportunity to every member to test his worth to the people, to the delegates.
Meanwhile, the race to other national offices is on. A former Minister of National Planning, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, declares for National Publicity Secretary of the party.
Our party deserves a public secretary that exudes great personality, a person well known by the media and the general public.
As the race to various offices in the People's Democratic Party continues to gather momentum, political observers believe it is a litmus test for the party to either come out more united after the convention or plunge into another leadership crisis. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
While still talking politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has held an election management systems implementers workshop for its officials in Anambra to evaluate the level of preparations for the conduct of the November 18 gubernatorial election in the state. Joy Lobu has details.
Workshop, which drew together INEC key officials from the 21 local government areas in the state, is to help the commission evaluate its performance so far in terms of preparations for the election. The resident electoral commissioner, Kwachukwoji, in an opening remark said the commission has advanced up to 90% in the implementation of the Amber Zone, which covers activities relating to procurement and distribution of non-sensitive materials before the Red Zone.
These are some of the most critical activities that happen 9 days to the election, on the election day, and then 2 days after the election.
Project Director, European Center for Electoral Support, ECIS, which has the responsibility of promoting democratic development through provision of operational support of electoral processes, David Lanotte said the election management system, EMS, is an effective tool which INEC will use to effectively manage field assets and chains of electoral activities in the forthcoming election. He said ECIS will support INEC in the mission to improve the quality of the electoral processes and outcomes in Nigeria.
So we're going to support INEC in all the activity towards the election for this one, but also for 2019 election and after the election also.
Other key officials noted that with the quality of preparations done in all aspects for the conduct of the election, it is clear that INEC is prepared to deliver credible and fair elections in the state. The INEC officials in the EMS implementer workshop are expected to have presentations of the Amber Zone summary, readiness and review, as well as readiness for the Red Zone report before the elections. In Oka, Joy Iluebu, NTA News.
Away from political matters now, as part of its corporate social responsibility, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, will be showing a documentary titled Journey from Evil, put together by the Voice of America, VOA. The program was presented by the managing editor, VOA Hausa, to the executive director news, NTA, Mohamed Labo. Adebola Brooklyn was there.
For several months, residents of the Northeast were dominated, tortured, humiliated, and some of their children held in captivity by Boko Haram insurgents. Most of the lucky ones ran for their lives. As President Buhari took over power, he gave a marching order to the service chiefs to combat the trend head-on. This led to the degrading of Boko Haram. Normalcy restored. The people have now returned to their homes.
A very tragic story.
It is a homecoming for Aliu Mustafa Sokoto, who began journalism with NTA before joining the Voice of America, VOA, to present the documentary that will enlighten Nigerians and help them appreciate government's efforts for instilling security and peace building.
This documentary has one single message. It's about the resilience of Nigerians, their ability to withstand challenges, their skill and talent to get to the edge and bounce back.
It's an experience that nobody would want to happen again in this country. NTA has produced some documentaries on the Boko Haram insurgency, and we have transmitted them, and having another documentary is an added bonus.
The package is a story of 4 women illustrating the harrowing experience faced by Nigerians in that region back in the dark days of insecurity. It is available in English and Hausa languages. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Very instructive development there. Now, talking sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria on high spirit ahead of final 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Algeria in Constantine Friday, as Dane Desani captures a preview of the encounter.